So we are live. So Captain Ajit Wadakail has put a very interesting poll, although very basic necessity poll that who among these two, Gujju number one Gandhi or Gujju number two Modi, has bled Bharatmata the most. I have my friends Mr. Murthy, Swapnil, and Rudra joining with me to talk on this. And this is one of the most sought after, uh, debates. And let me give you a context to what Captain Ajit Wadakail has also mentioned in his blog. Let me share what he has mentioned recently. And before I can say anything further, I would request every viewer who is watching this to participate this, share this poll with everybody, and have your opinions. Uh, you know, don't hesitate to put forward your opinions about this. So the context to this is this. What Captain has expressed, Ajit Wadakal has expressed. Sorry. He says that, he says that everybody knows that Captain Ajit Wadakal was the first to write that nitric oxide can prevent or cure COVID-19. That's right. Everybody knows how many times our captain has told this to traitors from within, PM Modi, Health Minister Harshvardhan, and that pranayama pranayam with extended exhalation with the sound produces nitric oxide. Everybody knows that blogger Wadakail had written that COVID deaths in Western hospitals was due to administering pure oxygen without atmospheric nitrogen for extended periods. Now, this is the main part. More than 1,000 critical suggestions to stop the bleeding of Bharat Mata has been ignored by Modi, who is controlled by the Jewish masters. Every person out here, me, Murthyji, Swapnil, Rudra, our dear readers like Devdut, Shekhar, others have consistently been putting, messages on portals of the PM, but to no result. So that's why Captain Ajit Wadakal has finally laid forth this poll, and this needs to be answered. So, Murthyji, what do you say?
See, I'm very clear on this. Gandhi played his role as a Rothschild agent or part of deep state before India got freedom in 1947, and everybody knew about it. And he played his part based on the events or time before independence. But thereafter, people did not like him. Even deep state did not like him for whatever he did later, and he was killed. And for that matter, Rothschild did not give him Nobel Prize as well, for which Captain Ajit Wadakal has thanked Rothschild for not giving the Peace Prize to Gandhi, who recruited 25 million people for World War One and Two, along with B.R. Ambedkar's great grandfather. So many things he has done to bleed Bharat Mata before independence. Now, coming to the present scenario, Modi being the prime minister and earlier to that being chief minister of Gujarat for 3 successive terms, uh, if you compare apple to apple as CM, Yogi Adityanath of Uttar Pradesh has done a wonderful job being a CM for 4 years. He has achieved all that India needs to become number one, whereas Modi did not do for 15 years being CM of Gujarat. And as far as the stewardship of Prime Minister is concerned, many things he faulted. One is signing the Paris 21, where he literally put Bharatmata as a slave for the world deep state to loot. Uh, Many other things which we could have done better. One is our internal Sabrimala issue, where we could have easily safeguarded the tradition of women entry, and that is sacrosanct, and that is the reason we were number one based on the Danava Kerala Danava civilization, and that could have been exhumed very neatly and put as a subject in our NCRT textbooks and in our school syllabus. Uh, and he could have even used the ordinance route through the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to get this tradition uh, status quo and well established and maintained. There's a lot of disturbance in regard to this in four southern states: Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andhra, where most of the devotees of Sabrimala belong to. And coming to the Kashmir problem, yes, Kashmir Pandits should have been well entrenched back to their home state. Uh, Now they are lying in shelters in Delhi, which is nearly for 4 decades. That means two generations of Kashmiri Pandits are not catered for even after 6 years of Modi's term. And many other things where he has bled Bharatmata is introducing homosexuality and adultery laws, which is giving a lot of Western traditions space for infringing into India. Uh, the whole exercise, coming back to what the Westerners do not want or the deep state does not want is, if India becomes number one, brown man will be ruling the white, and that they do not want. So primarily, it extends to that. They are trying to do whatever they can in their L to slice and dice and make a blot on India so that we are not going to be number one. And as far as Captain Ajit Vodakail blogs are concerned, we are very clear. And even if you put a brick on PM's chair, India will become number one by 2032 or in the next 10 to 12 years. So that is what we are pushing or aiming towards. And I'm sure India will become number one. And we will eliminate all those who are against it, including Modi. And between Modi and Gandhi, I feel Modi has got a vast global presence, being Prime Minister of India. He could have done much better, and he has not done it. So we would uh, like to see him step down and Yogi Adityanath of Uttar Pradesh to take over next in the next term in 2024. And I'm sure that will happen shortly if the trend continues. So I would say Modi is blood Bharat Mata more than Gandhi. Thank you.
So I will not select any option here because I want every person to go out themselves and vote for yourselves what you think the right answer is. But I would like to ask others. So let's ask Swapnil and Rudra that why do you think that this is a critical question? I mean, we all who read uh, Captain Ajit Wadakar's blog regularly, and we have understood from him that what is the real damage Modi has done to India, but we have also got to know how much of damage Gandhi has done to India, and he is the first one to propagate that we should consider Chanakya as the father of the nation and not Gandhi. But we have seen Modi running length and breadth to promote Gandhi, and everybody, whether someone hates Gandhi or sorry, someone hates Modi or someone does not hate Modi, is in you know uh, is with him for any function or any any event if it's for Gandhi. So why do you think this distinction of Modi versus Gandhi is important? What are your thoughts? Both Swapnil and Rudra, you are on mute, so when you want to speak, you can speak.
Let's
Hello.
start from the past, which is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. First of all, we all know what was the biggest treachery he played on us Indians. Gandhi. He put Indians in moral dilemma on the fact on the he twisted non-violence in such a way that the our freedom struggle kept on extending. We are all aware about this treachery, which was the biggest treachery in the name of dharma. He actually he actually displayed himself as a preacher of dharma, and in the name of dharma, he brainwashed Indians to not take any action against the Britishers.
Okay, Swapnil, what would you say? You can unmute.
Yeah. So, what I would like to say is, first of all, is my voice audible properly?
Yes, yes, very clear. Just
Yeah.
go ahead. No
Okay.
worries. Anything.
Okay. So these both Jewish deep state agents, one who was in the past and one who is in the present right now. So speaking of past, now Gandhi, he was made to sit on the uh, front seat of our freedom struggle by Rothschild himself, and right now it's Gujju number 2, who's sit, who's made to sit on the front seat. Now, what in the past there was again people were not together. Some were differentiated by their ideologies of ahimsa and non-violence and violence and non-violence. Then on the other end, today its uh, division is based on mostly uh, within us ourselves. To be honest, within Hindus, one is like some following ISKCON, some following Isha Foundation, some doing this, some doing that. Well, the most important aspect, that is being together, that is totally bypassed. These guys, I mean, what Modi is doing right now is just separating people more and more. He's differentiating more and dividing more than, basically he's also doing the same thing which was done by Rothschild, what he did by introducing his puppets or his communist ideology. That was, he separated man from God. That was his first divide and conquer that he achieved. And now this guy Modi is doing the similar thing, but he's separating even more. He's dividing the divide, doing the divide and conquer even more by keeping people separate. So for me, it's a tough choice, but I would say from a Hindu point of view, from an Indian point of view, for me, my Sanatan Dharma and development of my nation. These are the two most important points. And right now, Modi has the support of Hindus as well, uh, the educated masses as well. But he's not taking the complete advantage of it. He's, I don't know why, he's still afraid of his Jewish dictator. Why doesn't he just go behind his back? He has the support of so many people. Like in 2014, everyone, almost all Hindus were for him, and others also who are pro-Indian. Basically, they were all for him. But he didn't, uh, you know, do what he had promised. Instead, he's letting all these fake babas and all this pushing his vaccine agenda by his Jewish church masters, or doing all this electric vehicle stuff, batteries and all this insurance, all this stuff which we learned from Captain Ajit Vadakail, and also we studied it by himself. I mean, we all know how he's just taking advantage of Bollywood and cricketers or anything where he gets publicity properly just to push his agenda towards it. So he's a major culprit for me. That's what I would like to say. Thank you.
Oh, okay. थैंक्स स्वप्न. तो कोई बात नहीं है, इंग्लिश हिंदी जैसे बात कर सके हैं, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. सी
See, as an
हाँ बोलो रुद्र.
as an administrator of India,
Continue Rudra, don't mind the background noise, don't worry.
yes, as an administrator of India, Narendra Modi has the powers to take better decisions for his motherland, for our motherland. And even if he couldn't take better decisions, at least he could avoid taking bad decisions. Like for instance, take the example of GM crops. All he had to do is reject the decision of implementing GM crops, not allow it at any cost in our nation. But he allowed its entry as well. Instead, he just had to, there was nothing complicated to take better. Even if yeah, even if he could just reject the bad parliament bills which are harmful for the nation, that would have been sufficient. Although he isn't doing any yeah, if he couldn't manage doing any better work, but he isn't even rejecting the bad bills as well. He's letting them pass either through parliament or through backdoor in any way. And Captain Ajit Vadakail has also exposed like what is genetically modified crops, how they are utterly fatal to our health, to the health of Indians. So as an administrator, he should at least prevent taking prevent allowing uh, decisions if he couldn't implement good decisions.
Correct. So, see, the thing is, we know what. Yeah, yes, Murthy, you are unmute. You want to say anything?
No, I was looking at your chart where you're saying Modi should have easily said CO2 is a good gas and methane is a bad gas, which is affecting our global warming, etc. And instead of that, he's wrangled them into saying
Hello. Hello.
Yes, about the
so that's
Paris COP
where we
2130.
stand today. Modi has allowed a lot of these foreign players to directly intervene in India's business, and they're going to loot across the board, starting with defense, banking, insurance, whatnot. Every phase they're entering and they're looting India. Go ahead. Right.
Yeah. So the interesting part is why now? Why the distinction which we need to make? Again, I want to think and ask you all, like, why is this distinction? We know, in fact, many Indians have now realized why Gandhi has bled Bharatmata the most. We know the polls of Gandhi versus Godse, and we know why people fear putting any public polls of Gandhi versus Godse out of fear that Godse will win, and why. I mean, Godse had uh, uh, the thought that he has to end the mess with Gandhi. Gandhi had recruited so many soldiers for World War One and World War Two. He has given lot of lies and lot of times he has not acted upon. And there is a full section on Gandhi written by Captain Ajit Vadakal, which one should read. I will post that right now in some time. Okay, but why the distinction between Gandhi first and now then Modi? Like, what makes one more uh, worse than the other? And when coming to
Mohit,
Modi, yes, Murthy.
Mohit, this is a good time. You got the parallels drawn earlier. Earlier, Captain did a poll for between Gandhi and Godse, who is a patriot, and most of them answered rightly Godse. And now, why distinction between Modi and Gandhi? See, the reason being, as I said earlier, Rothschild did a good thing by not giving Nobel Prize to Gandhi, and Captain Ajit Wadakal thanked Rothschild for that. So he is not exposing Rothschild only for that reason. Now coming to Modi, he is on the verge of getting Nobel Prize. So that is the reason he wants people to wake up, people to know that he is worse than Gandhi. And if he gets Nobel Peace Prize, then India is will be seen in a different light altogether. That means people are still slaves of Bharatmata or the deep state, worse than before independence. So we have not changed much. We have not woken up. We are still slaves. That is the reason why Captain has put this poll now.
Okay, so that's a good point. Like, so what else? Like, I mean, is this enough to decide who is the worst? Like, I mean, I will not click this by any chance, okay? Because I don't want my choice to look as a reference. People should go to this website, go to the blog, check out themselves, read about it, understand the reason of this poll. Meanwhile, anything else, Swapnil Rudra, you'd like to tell? I'll try and show other polls of
Hello.
Captain Ajit Wadakal side by side.
Yes, I would like to say something. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Swapnil, go ahead. You are clear.
Yeah. See, what Murthy sir said is a very solid point of, if he's on the verge of getting a Nobel Prize. I mean, he's rooting for the Nobel Prize. One point I would like to also add is that Gujju number one, Gandhi, was put up on the front seat by Rothschild himself, whereas Modi is elected by we the people, and he's misusing the choice that is hardcore voters made. So that is a even a very dire bad thing which he has done. Breaking the trust of people who had voted him. We made him sit on the PM's chair. It wasn't the deep state. People voted, not just once, twice, and so this way breaking the trust of people and getting their behind their backs and you know just backstabbing them. That is really adharmic and that is really wrong. So that is when to answer your question, what you asked. My point is just much as Modi was put up on the front seat by we the people. We voted for him. We didn't vote for Gandhi back then, or maybe that even during those days there were differences of opinion. But for this person, we put him up there, and he's now backstabbing us, which is not a right thing to do. So yeah, that's what I would like to say. Thanks.
No, I would like to give a different background. Modi was nowhere being a RSS Karyakarta and he was in the organizer and whatnot and all. But who brought him to the forefront as CM? Mr. Vajpayee. Vajpayee, under Vajpayee's tenure, Captain has very clearly written, Bharatmata fell even more further because a lot of cultural terrorism in the name of Ramayana and Mahabharata serials took place. And that was a start, that was a trigger for many things to happen later. See, just like Obama was destined to become president of America 20 years earlier, he was groomed or he was in that Joshua matrix or whatever database deep state has got. Similarly, I think Modi is also there in the same database, being a Kathiawadi Jain, as Captain Ajit Wadakal has clearly put him, not a OBC. Gandhi also belongs to the same Kathiawadi Jain family. And Gandhi's father was the prime minister of Porbandar, and that's where the history starts. And Gujju, Gujarat has got a name for itself in being part of the Rothschild family or Freemasons. Many of them, including Vallabhai Patel, was a Freemason. So all Desais, most of them are Freemasons even now. So that is and Patels. Patels are very different, and uh, you know, many people have got African connection. That's where even Gandhi had. Uh, Apart from that, there is a very clear indication between Modi, Putin, and Trump who emerges as part of the deep state or who doesn't. And now he wants to knock Modi off, and that's where Captain Ajit Vodakail wants to be very clear. Uh, he needs to be exposed. So, given a clear indication with this poll, that's what I feel. Over to you, Mohit.
So this was one of the recent polls a few days back, and people had the central question is was whom India must honor without being politically correct. And I am selecting Godse, and but you will see the results, popular results. This says a lot, right? This says a lot. And now the poll comes to this again. So, in today's election context, also this poll is very critical because right now, this Murthy ji can tell more about this, which is a very important, exciting thing that E. Sridharan has joined BJP, and even Captain Ajit Vadakal has clearly noted that he's now the most revered leader in the BJP, and Modi doesn't like that, which is not visible on the public channels, but his presence is creating waves. Yes, Murthy.
Yeah, that was a good one which you brought up. Uh, as you know, Captain Ajit Vodakal clearly gave an indication to Modi that we want E. Sridharan as the president of India. But instead, he chose a duffer, Kovind, so that he can be a rubber stamp and he can push roughshod him and do whatever Modi wants. Before that, Captain Ajit Vodakal had actually propped up Modi for becoming the prime minister. Otherwise, he would not have become. There are many other forces which were not supporting Modi, but Captain was the one who supported Modi earlier, thinking that he will do good to India, but he did not do. In the first term, he had clearly told Modi, take it up in the first 10 months to clean up India. So Swachh Bharat was the one which Vodakal had proposed. He sat on it for 2 years. Later on, under the disguise of Gandhi Charka Gumake, he said Bharat Swachh Abhiyan, and he started that. And he did not give that idea to Vodakal's name. Second term, when he won recently in 2019, he clearly, Vodakal had told him that he does not want to see any child to be born in a slum in India. And so far, after nearly a year, nothing has happened. So that is where Captain has got really angry or pissed off with Modi. He does not heed to any suggestions. All the readers of Captain Ajit Vodakal blog have sent numerous mails, tweets to PMO, and they get all closed, cases closed. Many things were roughly handled by the PMO office, especially one person by name Ambuja Sharma. He is the worst in the PMO office. So these were the experiences from the readers of Captain Ajit Vodakal blog, and Captain is really pissed off on that. So many suggestions, good ones, where we could have put India on a big pedestal, and now we are drawn back for the steps or decisions taken by Mr. Modi. So that is where we stand as of now, and we should really ensure and make clear to Modi if he does not do or amend as of now, he will not even have a passport to go to Israel, and he will be locked up here, and a poll will be awaiting for him. So that is what will happen to all those Deshdrohis of India in future. Go ahead, Mohit.
Like Captain commented a few weeks back, the progress of Bharatmata as the number one nation is inevitable, even if there's a stone. Captain has said that even if a stone is placed on Bharat Mata's throne right now, nothing can stop the progress of India. So Modi must understand that whatever treachery he has done upon Bharat Mata, like Murthy ji said, he won't be able to he won't be able to exit from the consequences.
One more thing I want to add. See, it's very simple. What we are telling as Captain Ajit Protocol blog readers is very simple. Take any situation, idea, or anything which comes in front of you. Ask these three questions. Does this make, help, support India becoming number one? Second, will this safeguard our traditions and our values and principles for which we have pride in our priceless culture? Third, is this really doing good to the common man? And are we getting more secured feeling or feeling of unity and family harmony, etc., and strengthening our internal and external security, and make sure India is safe? If any of these three questions, if you get an answer yes, then support it. But in most of the ask from Captain Ajit Protocol blog readers to Modi, it was an yes, but it was not implemented. So that is where we stand.
Okay, so it's been a long discussion on this. So I would request everyone watching, whoever watches, go ahead and take this poll. Uh, Share this poll, share the comments of Captain Ajit Vadakar as much as possible. Any final thoughts before I end this discussion? All right, so I'll close this video for now. Thanks everyone for joining. Okay, we will try and come up with more talks on Captain Ajit Vadakar's topics later. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.